Hello everyone, my name is Ben Coleman. I'm one of your hosts for the Florida Aviation Network, and we're here at the 44th Annual Sun and Fun International Convention and Fly-In. And we're coming to you from the Florida Air Museum. This is where we have our set, and that's across the street from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy on the Sun and Fun campus at Lakeland Linger Regional Airport in the county of Polk, in the state of Florida, in this United States of America. Is that, if you need more geographic location than that, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But that's where we are, and this facility has grown from, I know that man, from its infancy with a gentleman to my immediate left called Robb Williams. Robb.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me here. Appreciate it.
Robb, I remember when you first got here, you were, my goodness, I said, who is this young fella? He didn't even shave.
That's right.
And they said, well, yeah, he's in charge of the museum. Says, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But you have come a long way. You've really done a great job with it. And I know when they separated it into its own entity, and you were deemed the executive director.
Correct.
They made a good choice because you've done a lot of good things here. And you've got energy. You've been so much help to the Florida Aviation Network. Obi Young, sometimes Obi could be hard to work with, but you work out well with Obi.
Yes,
and
sir.
You do a good job. What else is going on here and tell me about ACE. I keep hearing this term ACE.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thanks for the opportunity to be here. And thanks for the opportunity to be on the Florida Aviation Network. When I first came here 5 years ago, it took me 5 years to grow out this facial hair, by the way, so that's where we are today with that. But first saw the TV station come in here and didn't know what to think about it at first, but I've come to learn a lot about the program you do. So first and foremost, thank you to yourself and all the volunteers here on Florida Aviation Network for the service you provide to the aviation community.
The official Sun and Fun television network.
Yes, sir. That's correct. And soon to be taking over the museum.
Oh, absolutely, the whole thing. No,
we don't mind. We love y'all here.
No. You take care of the museum.
Obi's in here in charge of the expansion plans.
Just give us a little sliver. That's all we need, just a sliver.
Well, we've been very blessed here in the past 5 years to expand from the museum into a hands-on learning facility here called Aerospace Discovery at the Florida Air Museum. So we've garnered some awards and some recognition that we've had along the way. Mm-hmm. We've also expanded to have an official museum manager now here, Jamie Jameson, which we talked to earlier. Mm-hmm. We have an education director, Rochelle Floyd, both of which are certified state of Florida teachers. And then David McQuarrie also, he is our aircraft and technology manager. So those are kind of our people in our ACE umbrella, along with Susan Hiley here and our Gifts of Flight. So tremendous volunteer support once again. I'm very blessed to go out and talk about, what do you do here? And I tell them, and they're like, that's an easy recipe. It's like, absolutely not, if you don't have the support of the volunteers behind you. Mm-hmm. So it grew from the museum into 14 buildings here at the Aerospace Center for Excellence. That's where the term ACE comes from. So the museum's one. Across the street, the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. That's a public high school where the students there, it's a public high school in Polk County. So they have one of four options they can graduate with, either aerospace, which is private pilot certification, avionics, where they have an NCAT certification, engineering, they have Autodesk, SolidWorks, and Capstone from that, or airframe in general. So already these young men and young women that are attending the high school are already employable at that place. And right down the road, we hope they would go to our Polk State College, our partners here down the road. Now, the interesting thing about Polk State College is they hire fantastic adjunct instructors like this gentleman right here. But their program director has really a foresight to think ahead, and they have a restricted ATP offering at 1,000 hours. Now, what does that mean to the general public that might not know? Well, folks have heard of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Well, people are starting to hear of Polk State also. But did you know they both offer a restricted ATP at 1,000 hours?
Rather than the typical 1,500 hours.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
That's a third less requirement for similar knowledge level activity.
Absolutely.
So I mean that's tremendous. But the only way that happens is through.
If they go to Polk State College.
That's right.
That's right.
Or Embry-Riddle.
Or Embry-Riddle. Or Polk State or Embry-Riddle. Now, both are fine institutions, all right? But I'm going to wave the flag here for Polk State a little bit.
And now why would you do that?
Well, because I believe in their program.
Go ahead, wave that
I believe
flag.
in Riddles as well.
Yeah.
They have save you about a third of the money that's there. And then the program they have there, they have fantastic opportunities that they partner with JetBlue and ExpressJet and all the rest of them. So if you have an opportunity, polk.edu, go check them out, the Polk State Aerospace program. So that's a little bit of the ACE there. Now, all the way on our far west side of the campus is our Lakeland Aero Club. That's the one bookend of the campus, if you will, here. So that's our own high school flying club. The young men and women there, they go out and they build and fly their own airplanes, which is unheard of anywhere else. So lots of other places say, well, how did you do that? How did that happen? We got no's. Well, we got no's also. We just happen to have tremendous support from our board of directors, from our leadership here at Sun and Fun, and from our city officials and our airport officials to say yes. And the school board. Everybody's saying no and stopping. And so how can we legally, safely, and economically find a way to make this happen? So it's just been the perfect blend of support here. So that's our Lakeland Aero Club. We're very proud of them. Then coming down the way, our Piedmont Aerospace Experience, which is a Boeing 727, fully functional, mind you. Right? So the thing can turn on all the way except for the landing gear. So we get out and we start that up about on a every 20-day cycle. That's our goal, is to get out there and start that up. And our young men and women in our school, that's part of their curriculum. They get out there and they learn the buttons to press and the correct flows. Coming further down the way here, you do have the high school, but we also have the Bueller Restoration Skills Center, and then behind Bueller is the Crossfield. So Central Florida Aerospace Academy started out in Crossfield. I think it was just called school. Didn't really have a name at the time. But from there it grew, and the building across the way happened, and now Travis Career College, another one of our fantastic partners here, educational partners, offers the power plant part. So you've got Airframe and General across the street, and come over for the power plant right at Travis along the way. And coming further down here, you've got the museum, the pavilion, you've got the Davis and Piedmont buildings. So Rochelle's done a heck of a job in Piedmont, expanding our service to our guests when they come here, but now offer that as an additional building they can visit. And then the Davis Center has our summer camp programs, which is where we get a lot of these young men and women to come into our programs at age 7 and then build them up from there. So Bob Hiley, one of our long-term volunteers here, called it "Get It Infected with Aviation," is what we call him. So we're going to try to do that to him at age 7 here. So.
Bob Hiley, I've never heard it long-term. He's old. He's a codger. He's just an old codger. But no, Bob is his heart is truly in it.
Yes, sir.
And I have a lot of respect for both the Hileys.
Correct.
I respect them highly.
Highly.
I've never used that before. No, good for you, Bob. You too, Susan. But Rob, how do I say, what we have done, what I've seen happening here is what we have tried to create with Florida Aviation Network, and we can try to shove youth into aviation and try to force feed them to get them interested in it. Well, that doesn't work. You got to create a climate and an environment to where they want to come and hang out and make it cool. And I think this is what you're accomplishing that here, because I mean, kids, they want to come here. It's a cool place to go. It's a cool place to learn, and you know, you accept. Okay, for a reason, I think it's what the C average or better is a requirement to be in the academy.
Sir.
Okay,
275, which you can hopefully, good Lord willing, fall out of bed and get a 2.75.
well, but there's some that are right on the edge there, but there's a reason for that, because there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of science involved with this.
Yes, sir.
But also a lot of dedication. If you tell somebody you're going to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, if you get there at 8:01, actually if you get there at 8 o'clock, you're late.
And that's the thing, is the 2.75 is a minimum requirement to get there. But one of the other programs we have here is our scholarship program through the high school. All right, so the high school is owned by Sun and Fun. We lease that back to Polk County Schools, and that lease payment goes into a foundation to provide scholarships for young men and women. So the 275 is actually an entry requirement. But to succeed in there, I get the scholarships come through monthly. I'm having 4.0s, 3.9s, and the amount of competition over there raises the level. So yeah, 2.75 is the entry level, but you don't find many folks over there at the 2.75. Those are your future leaders that are over there. They're getting the 3.9s, the 4.1s, unweighted, weighted GPAs that are just off the charts, brilliant, and really fortunate to have that experience over there. And you know, some of them say, their parents say, don't want you to waste this. Allow me just to expand on the scholarship program a little bit. So that's through our foundation, so that's cfaaf.org. So that is about $400,000 a year that we have that we put back into scholarship awards to young men and women to learn to fly and to go to college as well. So we award 2 solo scholarships per month, With that, and that's $5,000 that they are awarded to get the solo in 6 months. And after that 6 months, they come in for a separate interview, and they have an additional 6 months to finish their private pilot's certification, and they up to $6,300, and they're expected to pay 10% of that. Not that we couldn't pay the 10%, but we want them to have some sort of skin in the game.
Yeah, I can see.
Mr. Ray's vision when he came here was that a young man, young woman's life changes when they solo an airplane. So that's our primary goal, is to get them to solo the airplane, to give them a life-changing skill that they'll have whether they go into the field of aerospace or not. Something that they can say that they've done that separates them from their peers. Now, above and beyond that, we're the world's leader in creating teenage pilots.
Well, and I agree with that. I mean, the 10%, it's a token, but nonetheless, it's them putting forth the effort,
Yes, sir.
the financial effort, as well as the time and because if where is it? Somebody said something that's free really has very little worth for the wrong individual.
True.
To the right individual, now once they get that solo, I'm sure they would love to have somebody to pick up their further advancement. But right place, right time, push a broom, do hard work, and maybe good things will come to you. You've got to be in the industry to get some of the fruits and rewards from the industry. But that free, it don't really fit, unless you're bringing an airplane back from a deadhead and say, hey kid, you want to ride along? That's how you get free flying time.
Right.
You don't have to pay for it.
Right.
But it's a good experience. So that's why you got to be at the airport if you're interested in getting in aviation.
Right. And then on top of that, we have our college scholarships. So we award up to 4 at $5,000 a year if they choose to go to Polk State College. And if they want to go to a college outside of that, we welcome that and encourage that, but that's at $2,500 a year. And so that we can split one of the $5,000 scholarships into 2 halves on that. So lots of opportunities here for young men and women in Polk County. And it doesn't just have to go, the college scholarships for the high school, but the flight scholarships, any student in Polk County, public, private, homeschool, doesn't matter. If they go to school in Polk County, they can apply for it.
Rob, all of this is available somewhere on a website, is it not?
Yes, sir. www.flysnf, that's Sierra November Foxtrot.org. And the .org is important to remember. So we're non-for-profit. So Sun and Fun, the event this week, is a fundraiser for year-round educational programs we have here. We have over 20 educational programs year-round, and on top of that, we have over 70 facility rentals on our campus. It's about 1.3 a week.
Had no idea.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Good grief.
Lots of things happening out here.
Well, I tell you what, we've hooked up and we've made a pact for Elizabeth. Mackenzie.
Yes, sir.
Mackenzie to come over, and we're going to learn Mackenzie how to run this set. Rob, thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me here.
I know you've got a career fair going on, and you got a lot of things happening. I've seen you on roller skates, and it's a good thing they've got a young man to do this job.
Where's he at?
No, good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks much. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, this is it. We're gonna call it off. I think we're gonna have an air show today. So if you're not here, you should get here. And I think it's gonna be streaming too. Go to the folks at Live Air Show TV, and you might be surprised what you see. Take it easy. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts. We'll see you next interview.